Um, okay. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get this started here. A little weird. I'm just sort of talking into a camera, I suppose. Um, so today is October 26th, 2021, and I don't know. Just recording this video for posterity and for sort of set a baseline. So what I'm hoping to do is use these videos as sort of a record, essentially. I'm gonna so this last week has been special and unique, I suppose. Um, so I guess I'll go all the way back. So from March 1st of this year, um, I've told this story about a million times already, but it's the first time I'm recording it. So Um, but March 1st this year, it was a work email actually. Um, I was named using female pronouns, is what it amounts to. It was some sort of IT issue that I had submitted a ticket for, and it was like written by some guy in India or something. I don't know. I mean, honestly, um, and it was like user just needed to reset her password. She should be good to go now. Something completely innocent like that just misgendered me. Um, but anyway, that made me very strangely like giddy and excited, and I don't know, it wasn't something I had quite, felt like that before, especially with being called the wrong gender. Um, so then started sort of a period of, self-discovery and figuring out what the hell's going on, trying things out, trying the more feminine stuff, basically. And what I found in general is that I really enjoy it. Just like really enjoy it a lot. Um, More than I could properly describe, to be honest. Um, it wasn't something that I expected, not something I necessarily even wanted either, but it made me so deeply happy, um, where it could just drive into my core, basically, to make me happy, and it was I had a lot of the reasons for some of the conflict. It was how it made me feel, and it was what I wanted and what I wanted to want. So what I wanted was to be more femme and sort of dive into this a little bit. But what I wanted to want was nothing to do with it. Um, and that's something I struggled with for several months. Um, And I guess just over the past few weeks, I've had a couple breakthroughs, and I think I've gotten through to the other side. But I'll talk about those breakthroughs right now. So breakthrough number one. Um, so I guess I had started to see a therapist, and their therapist gave me a useful bit of insight that I guess rung true for me. Um, and that is that we, as humans, as people, cannot control our emotions. We can only control our behavior, our response to these emotions. And that immediately sounded to me like something that, like, yeah, that is probably how a healthy person would act and behave and think. Um, the way that I had typically acted and behaved was I would basically try to, and this had nothing to do with even the whole trans femme issue thing. Um, just this is just the way that I dealt with emotions, was that I would uh, try to control those feelings, um, and basically that little, putting it into words, um, control the behavior, not the emotions, you know, that clicked with me. Don't know if it clicked with everybody, whatever, but uh, that was something I needed to hear, and I started going in that direction that way. So that was the first breakthrough. Second breakthrough, um, this was a little over a week ago now, so it would have been here for uh, posterity's sake. It would have been October 16th, I believe. Well, I guess October 15th. Arby and Adriana coming out to visit us as a week early as part of a larger Clarkson get together that we do pretty regularly. This is the first one since the COVID pandemic, which, by the way, if you're viewing this, many years in the future, yeah, still a thing. We're all pretty sick of it at this point, pretty ready for it to be done. I don't know. I mean, that maybe that sounds callous, people are dying still at this point, but at this point in the pandemic, everybody who wants the vaccine has been able to get it and protect themselves. I've gotten mine like more than 6 months ago, um, and it's one of those things where right now it feels like we don't have a exit strategy as a country. Um, it feels like a lot of people are just choosing not to get the vaccine, which is allowing it to continue. And I don't know. I don't know what the exit strategy is. Whole sidebar. So anyway, first gaming to get together since the pandemic. Pandemic's still going on, but everybody's vaccinated. We feel safe and that sort of thing. Um, But yeah, so Arby and Adriana came out, and whatever, we were just talking, and I talked to Erica beforehand, and the topic of do I want to try to talk to some of these, some of our friends, about gender and that sort of thing. They're a very supportive group and that sort of thing. Um, so the topic of do I want to come up out to them came up, and prior to them coming out, I'm like, like maybe, and I think they would be supportive, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that right now. I'm still very much questioning. Um, and yeah, so I said, yeah, probably not. Probably not is what I landed on. But um, some weird twist of fate, blah blah blah. Um, like the subject of gender basically came. I didn't even try to bring it up or anything like that, but it basically did come up, and LGBT, that sort of thing. And I went ahead and I was extremely nervous. They told me later that they thought I was like gonna tell them I was dying of cancer or something, something horrible. Um, but that wasn't the case. I told them that I had been questioning my gender identity, um, and that was about it, really. That I'd been questioning my gender identity, that I may or may not be transsexual or somewhere on that spectrum or whatever. Um, they were immediately very supportive. Um, and uh, actually, it was at this time that Adriana herself came out as uh, she she called it demigirl, um, which what I come to understand is that you like some mask things, but you overall still consider yourself to be femme. You still use female pronouns and that sort of thing. That's the way I understand it. That's probably not a great explanation. Um, but anyway, but regardless, though, it's still sort of under that same gender. I'm going to call it gender queer. That might not be the right word, but you're questioning your gender. It's under that umbrella, um, which, for me at least, it was like, it just sort of blew my mind, I guess. Not that it necessarily, just in the sense that, like, what are the odds? Right? Like it blew my mind in that sense, you know? Like, here I am, coming out basically, and Adriana herself, because she's in a very similar boat where uh, her journey's been a little bit different, rather than over the past 6 months. She's started questioning over the last couple years. Um, my journey has been much more up and down with higher peaks and lower valleys. Hers has been a more steady incline and probably overall more healthy, if I'm being honest, than whatever the hell I've been going through. Um, but again, it was like, what are the odds? And needless to say, they were both incredibly supportive. More supportive. I didn't sort of getting my charging cable. I didn't expect bad things, and I did expect them to be generally like, yeah, we're here for you, but it was so much more than that. There was such high positivity and reinforcement, and son of a bitch, um, God, there, um, such such positivity, and reinforcement, and it was just overall such a positive experience. Um, and yeah, just over the week, as the week progressed, I got comfortable actually dressing for them, presenting them to them, which it was a weird excitement, a weird mixture of excitement and nervousness. Um, a lot of excitement and a lot of nervousness. Some pretty heavy emotions, heavy feelings. But I got more comfortable. The nervousness started to wane, but the excitement was, maybe even growing, where it's becoming more real, I suppose. Um, and like Adriana and I went shopping together. I went as so. I just think it's the cutest damn thing. It makes me happy. It makes me happy. Um, my girl name is Geraldine. Um, it was something that I found a little while ago. Because I don't mind the name Jerry, I wanted it to still start with a G. That was important to me. But I don't know. I found Geraldine, just on like a website idea for like baby names, that sort of thing, and I liked it. I latched onto it pretty quick, um, and yeah. So Geraldine, a girl name. So anyway, I went to the mall with Adriana as Geraldine. Which I'd been to the mall with Erica before as Geraldine. Erica had to work this day, but when I went to the mall with Erica, I I wasn't necessarily in the right headspace, I suppose. A lot of internal resistance. Um, Something I've been battling, for months. It's the want to, that sort of thing. But at this time, this place, um, following these events, going with Adriana to the mall, it was wonderful. It was awesome. Um, she started teaching me sign language a little bit, which I've taken a liking to. Something I want to continue, but because I couldn't talk in the mall, which is really circling me right back to voice training. But we'll get to that in just a second. I just want to finish this story. Um, but yeah, it was just so I was so confident. For the first time I was like confident as Geraldine going out. Um, and Adriana and she was picking up some mask clothing, but we went, but it was mainly honestly for me. And we went to several different stores, trying stuff on, found some stuff that I really like. This right here is one thing that I got, here. It's actually pretty cute, I think, and I'm starting to get more and more comfortable saying that. What I really want is, so I want the longer hair at least a shoulder length. Um, I don't know how long exactly I want it. We'll have to see. But at least a shoulder length, and I've never really felt dysphoria, I don't think, or not that I would necessarily call dysphoria. I don't know. I don't think I've hated my male body, but there are some things that, like, I've become acutely aware of, I guess, as I've started questioning my gender. And like facial hair is one thing that I just, at least right now, I just want it gone. I just wanted it gone. So I'm gonna maybe look into face waxing. By Adriana suggests. I've done zero research. I might just rip my face off. I don't know. I hope not, but might give that a shot. Later down the road, might do laser hair removal. That's a more permanent type dealio. So I'm gonna try face waxing first, but I can only get so close using a shaver. Um, just shaving. Um, where you still have the 5 o'clock shadow even immediately. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, it just is. Um, but I don't know. I think I might make a cute girl. I don't know. Uh, so facial hair is one thing I don't like, but being 6'1" also makes it hard. Um, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know what the future holds. How far I'm gonna go at this point. It's so strange. If you asked me like even a couple weeks ago, I would have had a completely different answer. But I'm gonna try to give you the answer that I have today. And the answer I have today. So even a couple weeks ago, there was some probability of me just going fully 100% back to Jerry. It actually happened back in August where I tried to go full back to Jerry, and I thought I was okay with it. I got my hair cut at that point, and I fell into a bit of an existential dread almost, which wasn't great. And then I'm like, oh shit, this isn't over. I had been repressing a little bit. But anyway, if I'm trying to give predictions right now, see, I still have some strange mixture of feelings, so which maybe means that I'm not fully trans. Maybe I'm a demi boy, I don't know. Um, but I think I like the female pronouns and the female name. Those make me happy. And none of this makes any sense, by the way. As a side note, this is all completely illogical, which is part of what's made it hard. Like, why would I want to be a girl? Like that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like from a rational standpoint, because like, damn, what a hard life, and you're gonna be an ugly chick, and um, I don't know what to say other than it inexplicably makes me some of the happiest I've felt. It's just some of the happiest I've damn felt. I don't know. I don't know how else to say that. Um, it's just a. It's not even happiness. It's beyond that. It's giddiness. It's just a sheer like maniacal happiness. That's the best way I could describe it. It's maniacally happy. It's just crazy happy. That I mean, I've had other life events that have filled me with great warmth. Like getting married to Erica. Like great feel. Like and it just fills you with such warmth and happiness and like yeah, but this is a different kind of happiness. I'm trying to describe it using words. Um, it is, I guess, number one, it's interesting because it's a happiness that is coming from myself. It's coming from myself. Like, yes, wearing the clothing and the, jewelry and, I don't know if you could tell, but I have the fingernails that are orange, fall collection idea. Um, and all that is great, but it is more so the feeling that I am. That sounds so cheesy, but it's like I feel like I'm myself. I feel like um, I'm I'm just so thoroughly happy. I'm trying to put it into words. I'm sorry. Um, where it's like I could express myself the way that I want to express myself. And that sounds minor when you say it like that, but it is so unbelievably important to me. And it's like the restrictions are lifted. I'm allowed to feel these things. Um, because I think I've had a lot of internalized. I don't even know where it came from to be honest, but I've had a lot of internalized transphobia and internalized like toxic masculinity, where it's like I have to conform to X, Y, Z. Um, I feel like I'm bouncing around a little bit, um, but it just makes me so giddy happy, especially when I'm honestly, especially when I'm around with other people, whether it's Erica or Arbiana, or I eventually came out to the Clarkson group as well. I haven't come out to the Joyces, Derek or Dylan, and I haven't come out to Christy yet, and I definitely haven't come out to any of the parents or any, anything beyond what I just said. Um, Part of it is that I'm still figuring whatever this is out. But what I could say for certain is that I'm somewhere on this path, on this spectrum. I've always heard the term, it's a spectrum, in reference to sexuality or gender or, anything like that. And that never really made sense to me, I guess, until going through this. And basically, the way I understand it now is that gender is a gender is one component of what makes a person, and that gender by society standards is either male or female. Okay, it's binary, you're one or the other. Um, and be on a spectrum. See, I don't know how to talk about this without sounding entitled or pretentious or like you don't understand, you know. But it because I feel like a lot of people, like myself included before going through this, um it was like why is gender important, you have male body parts, you have female body parts, and so that makes you a man or a woman. And it's something I'm still struggling with myself. Um, but it is more than that, and like a lot of it just comes from society, the societal expectations of men versus the societal expectations of women. And we should all be able to say, screw society, do what you want, right? And then why is gender even a concept? If we throw society out the window, if we're raised in a cave in prehistoric times, right? Like with no preconceptions, um, does gender still exist at that point? And I don't know. I don't know if it still exists. Um, but there are some factors I think I've started to. I I don't know. I guess I don't know. And it's part of why I'm still working through this. I'm still figuring it out. Um, whether I am pure, full blown, transsexual, or whether I am somewhere on the spectrum, demi boy, or something else, gender fluid was one thing that came up. Um, possibly. So, but anyway, I feel like I sort of went on this rant. It's been sort of therapeutic. I'm actually seeing a gender therapist tomorrow. Is the plan. Got an appointment. Um, and um, I've been seeing a general therapist for a few months now. But this is actually going to be a gender therapist, which hopefully they'll be able to help me unravel whatever this is. Um, but more than anything, I need to be happy with myself. That's number one. Number two, so number one, do what makes you happy. Okay, I mean that's easy to say, but honestly, do what makes you happy. Number two, understand that nothing of what you're doing is immoral. Okay, you're not hurting anybody. I'm worried about coming out to my family possibly in the indeterminate future. Um, that makes me nervous. Um, I don't know if I need to be nervous. I My impression right now is that they will, or maybe it's my hope too, is that they will. I think they will mourn the loss of their son. Um, but I guess I hope that also they see how happy it makes me. It, like I said, it's completely irrational. I wish I could explain it using rational terms, but I cannot. I really cannot. Um, but it for a while I was worried about how Erica would react to it. And from the very beginning, she's been telling me like it's okay, like do what makes you happy, do what's best for you. Um, and I had a hard time accepting that. I think I'm finally at the point where I am accepting what she's telling me. I think she means it. I really do. That she, more than anything, wants to see me happy. Um, it didn't happen overnight, you know. I think that when I first told Erica, she was surprised is the best word for it. She wasn't upset. I, but like, I don't know. Like if she had to choose, right, whether I was happy being a male or, happy being transgender, she would choose me to be happy being a male, right? Like, and that's part of my own, um, created a lot of guilt within me. Um, so, which not her fault. Not her fault. None of that was her fault. Um, as she's had more time to think about it, I think she's come around a little bit. Even then, I didn't believe her honestly, and that's on me. Um, I think I'm finally at the point where I believe her. But anyway, side tangent. Yeah. So I hope if and when I come out to my parents and grandparents, I'm very worried right now about both of those. The impact of coming out to both of them. Um, but I hope that they know that it makes me inexplicably happy. I've been suffering through, I don't know if you call it depression. Some might call it gender dysphoria, honestly. I just had this like this grumpiness, basically, this grumpiness that I could not shake. And I couldn't tell you why. I recognized it within myself, like I was too short-tempered, and I let little things bother me a lot. I would stay up late at night, just um, basically until I stopped feeling anything before going to bed. Like I couldn't feel, I not that I couldn't sleep, but it's just I needed to be in the right state of mind, and that state of mind was nothing except exhaustion. Um, and I mean, I had that for it had slowly built over years. It wasn't something that suddenly appeared one day. Some days and weeks were better than others, but in a general sense, it just was a steady tick upwards. Um, but um, but this makes me happy, and it the way I feel is that it cut through that. It just sliced through it, and I need to be at the point where if anything cut through that feeling, then I should embrace it. If it's not, damaging to my health or to the health of people around me, if it's not financially destroying, if it's not immoral, um, then I need to embrace it. I mean, what choice do I have? You know, if something makes you so giddy happy and you're able to do it, you're not hurting anybody, it's irresponsible not to do it, I think. To not make yourself happy in that way. I think it's I think that's a good. It is irresponsible to yourself, to your loved ones, to not try to make yourself as happy as possible. And I think a lot of people are happy just in general. I think a lot of people are also unhappy and wish that they had some sort of button to make themselves happy. And this is the closest thing I'm going to get to a button. you know, um, this is the closest thing I'm going to get to a magic button that makes me happy. And I got to press it. you know, I got to press it. Um, so the original reason I started recording this video, this ended up turning into a therapy session, and it's been incredibly helpful. Um, but it's not the intent of this video. The intent of this video is to set a voice baseline. So I've obviously been talking a little while. You've heard my male voice. But I'm going to be starting to do female voice training. It's not something that, uh, like if I don't know if I'll ever take hormones. I may or may not. I don't know. The idea intrigues me. That's the way I'll describe it, is it intrigues me. Um, but it's too early to tell, and I just need to go along for the ride. Um, but yeah, so anyway, hormones won't change your voice. Um, going male to female. Basically, you just need to do your voice training. And up until now, I've been in such heavy denial that like I've done a little bit of voice training, but basically none. Yeah, like I've watched a couple videos, but I haven't like sat down to actually train. And I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start sitting down to train. And this here is the video basically before that training. So I'm gonna try to talk in a feminine voice. And I'm going to use what little lessons I've gotten, okay? Which hasn't been much formal lessons, by the way, because I don't know. This might be the most masculine I look in, uh, maybe forever. See, that thought excites me. I don't know. I can't explain that. But it's sort of cool. It's sort of cool. I would like to lose some weight. I feel like I got like a jaw going on, and I'm a little round around the tummy. But I don't even know what. Okay. But here, I'm gonna get a little closer to the camera. That way you can see a little bit. Got my fingernails. But yeah, like you could see my. I shaved. I guess I shaved yesterday morning, so it has been a little while. Sorry, I just got a text. Um, but yeah. This might be the most mask I look in a little while. Here, I'm gonna take my headphones off for a second. So, in high school I wore my hair relatively long, but since graduation I really haven't. Um, so in March, whenever I first had this thing, I was like, hey, I'm gonna grow my hair out. Going until August when I'm like, hey, I'm Jerry again. You could cut my hair, and that's when it caused the issue in August. So, but then I've now late October. Hasn't gotten back to pre-haircut levels yet, um, but I basically plan on letting it grow for the indeterminate future, like 6 months, a year, 2 years, I don't know. But I'm just gonna let it grow, which is sort of exciting. But anyway, I'm gonna try to talk in my femme voice now. So
So it's a combination of pitch as well as resonance in your throat. So, but I'm trying not, I sound a little nasally. Um, I don't think that this is a good feminine voice, to be clear. To be clear, I think that this sounds pretty garbage. But that is part of why I am here setting a baseline. What I am really hoping for is that over time, um, I'm able to notice improvements in my feminine voice because I think that would be really encouraging to be able to witness my own progress. And what I might do as I go through lessons is actually, talk those out, talk through those lessons a little bit. Um, and see what it sounds like. And that's something else. Even with Jerry's voice, something I haven't liked and something I would like to work on now, maybe more seriously, is that I've always had a little bit of a lisp, and I don't really like that, like at all. And something that I want to work on, especially if I'm working on voice training for fem voice training. Um, and Yeah, so this is my I've this recording has gone on for a little over almost 42 minutes now. Um, a lot longer than I was expecting, but it's also been very therapeutic. I wasn't expecting quite so much time of me just ranting at the camera. Um, but I think it's been really good. I think it's been really good. I think that um, I don't know. This has been a special video. This has been nice. I don't think I'm gonna do this every time that I record at all. But maybe what I'll do, I'll use this as a platform to record my progress, say what I've been going through, maybe express some of my thoughts. Um, yeah, and it's hard for me to also stay in my feminine voice. If you want a feminine voice, um, and yeah, definitely something I've been struggling through is just why am I doing this? Why does this make me so happy? This is completely irrational. But it makes me happy. And I think I'm still the same person. I don't think that's changed, and I don't think it will change. I hope it doesn't change. I don't want it to change. Um, but I just want to be the best me that I can be, and I am trying to discover who that is. If it's Geraldine, if it is some sort of um, like somewhere in the middle, like a demi girl or sorry, demi boy. I would be a demi boy, I believe. I guess could I be a demi? I There's a possibility that I could be a demi girl. I don't. It's all new to me, and I don't even know what that means. It sounds like a werewolf almost, like you're a demi girl. I don't know, or like a D&D monster of some sort, which I think is sort of hilarious. Um, Also, something to note as far as I'm as, as far as I'm aware, because I was pretty but yeah, uh, my sexuality has not changed. I am still attracted exclusively to women. Um, I mean, hell, I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah. I shouldn't make that face. Um, I don't know. It's a time of great change, I guess. Um, I think at this point, as of today, right now, I am excited for this change. And yeah, I think that will be it for this one. So I am going to um, call it there, I think. Um, 45 minutes, not bad. There's my baseline fem voice. Last 5 minutes of the video. Um, I think I'll be doing more voice proportionally on subsequent videos. Um, but yeah, there it is. Okay. All right. I will talk to you later then. All right. I don't even know. Who am I talking to? Myself? Anybody? I don't know. All right. All right. Get out of here. All right. Goodbye.